This is one of the best scalping strategies that you can use with 3 simple indicators with a combination of price action and market structure, while also showing you a live trading session with my small trading account to prove that it actually works. So the main things you need to understand for this trading strategy are push exhaustion cycles entering on candlestick confirmations. The best candlestick formations you can use to confirm the trade are engulfing candlesticks, harami, pin bars, hammers, and even Morobuzu black or white depending on the bullish or bearish direction. I also trade multiple time frames and one direction only. So 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute time frames is what I typically use for scalping. And between all the time frames, I want to see candlesticks moving either towards the downside or the upside, following the moving averages but not breaking them. And of course, the 3 best combination of moving averages, which is 20, 50, and 200. These will allow you to scalp profitably, I can guarantee it. So with all that being said, let's just jump right into the live trading session and I'll explain everything as we go along. Today I'm trading Euro US dollar. I have $800 at the moment and I'm trading it with the best trading strategy you can think of. So I already see an opportunity. I'm gonna open the 0.50 lot size trade on Euro US dollar. 107.138 was our entry. Okay, currently the trade seems to be stuck in between the 20 moving average and 50 and 200 moving average. So currently we have a consolidation. Depending on where it actually breaks, whether it's going to be towards the upside or the downside, is really how we're going to react. So at the moment we have to just stay vigilant, stay patient, and see what happens next. And there we go. With a little wait, we can see a nice drop just over here. It dropped around 5 pips, as you can see. And if we have a look at our MetaTrader at the moment, $14 in profit. I was kind of late a little bit, but that's okay. I feel like it's gonna drop furthermore. I'm currently seeing a nice area of resistance just over here. It ain't perfect, but it will do the job nicely. Why do I like this resistance? Because after a push, there's likely an exhaustion back towards the previous area of sensitivity, and then it's gonna continue dropping down. If we take a look at the 5-minute time frame, we also had a substantial move just over here. Nice little candlestick closure. Closed below the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. This already suggests a further continuation of movement towards the downside. And on the 15-minute time frame, I like to see a break of this 20 moving average just off here. This will confirm the bearish bias much more. So if in the next 10 minutes this candlestick closes where it is at the moment or even lower, all this really tells us is that it's dropping towards the downside nicely and likely going to retest previous areas of sensitivity, such as this support over here on the 15-minute time frame. Since our take profit is only around here, this seems like a great opportunity to kind of collect our profits here early rather than waiting until it reaches this area zone, because it might find, you know, some bullish pressure. You never know. It's Friday. So currently I'm $28 in profit. I might even open up another trade. Yeah, why not? I'll be confident. Let's do one lot size. There we go. So I'm selling Euro US dollar twice this time. 107.083 was our second entry. There we go. But we're gonna collect our profits same as the first trade just over here as well. I don't really have a stop loss per se, since I'm, you know, scalping very quickly. I'm active in the markets. I'm looking what's happening. I'm not too scared, especially on Friday. I know there's not much news today. Plus it's nearly 5 p.m. when I'm trading. So I'm just increasing my orders because I see it's a successful trade. This is a good way to scale up your trade. So start with half a lot size, then increase it to 1. If it continues on, you can just pump the trade more for potential further profits. As with everything, it can also backfire, but that's the way it goes when you're trading. All right, the 1-minute time frame doesn't look too good at the moment. I didn't like this candlestick over here, plus this bullish engulfing candlestick formation. It does suggest that it might be a pullback, and I don't want to get stuck with this trade too much. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes. If it manages to break past this previous area of support, then great, we are continuing with the trade. I have no reason to close off this trade, but Really, if I saw this earlier, I would have probably closed it off just to be on the safe side. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I do believe it could be turning around unless he actually manages to break this previous area zone. We'll see what happens in the next 20 seconds. Let's just mark this rectangle over here just to see when it breaks. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is actually pretty good. This was the previous area low closure. This is the new one, although the wicks haven't really made a new low, which is lame, but I would say that we're in the safe hands at the moment. The candlestick body closure is more important than the wick. So that's always something to keep in mind. If I do get a strong kind of pullback towards the 20 moving average, maybe 50 moving average, I'm going to be entering yet another trade on Euro US dollar. See what happens. Okay, it still seems like it's consolidating in between this kind of rectangle at the moment. Not great, but we do have a nice little shooting star over here. We also have that bearish harami over here as well. However, as you can see, it's currently pulling back a little bit, and I did expect that it might be pulling back towards this bigger area of kind of support, in this case now resistance over here. So if it pulls back towards the 20 or 50, I'm gonna be entering yet another trade to see what happens. At the moment, I'm $25 in profit on one of my trades and -5 in the others, so I could take 20 just right here, but that's not enough for me. Okay, so it's pulled back towards the 20 moving average. I just need to wait for a confirmation candlestick of some sort. This way I'll have a nice little entry. We could potentially retest this previous area zone over here, so I could potentially maybe enter a bigger lot size trade if I do get a nice little entry off here. But there we go, bearish engulfing candlestick. If I get a nice candlestick closure off here, I'll enter just another trade because I feel like Euro US dollar will continue dropping down. Or looking at it at the moment, not really pin bar developing, but we'll see what happens in the next 30 seconds. So it's currently found a lot of buying pressure. As you can see, my currently around $10 in profit. One of my trades is -$11, and that's totally fine and dandy. 20 and 50 moving averages are in here. Strong area resistance. Well, I say strong, it's the 1 minute, but nice little price action. I don't believe it's gonna just continue moving up. It's very unlikely. On the 15-minute time frame, it kind of touched two of the moving averages, 20 and 50, and likely it's gonna start pulling back down one more time. This is the 5-minute 200 moving averages over here where I draw the resistance. So this is a strong area zone to kind of pull back from. So if I do get a bearish engulfing candlestick, maybe in the next 15 seconds, something like this, that's going to be a very good trade, and I'm going to do a big lot size trade because I do believe it's going to retest by minimum this area zone. So 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Okay, nice. So I'm closing one of my trades off and I'm going to open a 2 lot size trade. There we go. So these are the 2 trades I have remaining. As you can see, at the moment I'm in slight minus, -$46. But I'm not too worried, I'm not scared. This is a great area zone to kind of trade. Bearish engulfing candlestick. I mean, this candlestick over here sucks, but this is just the 1 minute. It gets manipulated a lot. You need to ignore most of these candlesticks and kind of focus on what the 5-minute, 15-minute is doing and just the overall market direction. This way, you're not going to be stressed over small 1-minute candlesticks, because every single time is going to be a blue one, then a strong red one, then maybe a couple of blue ones, and then another red one. Usually that's the way the markets move. Push, exhaustion, push every single time. This is a push, this is an exhaustion. Likely I'm waiting for another push to retest this area zone, and if we break this kind of support over here, then it's a nice push, exhaustion, push again, straight to our take profit level. So we'll see what happens, and this is a good bearish candlestick one more time, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I dislike this bullish engulfing candlestick. I mean, it's lame because it broke past this previous area resistance, right? It was kind of sluggish on this area resistance, right? and now it broke out with this candlestick. So I don't like this slightly bigger blue candlestick. However, it should be fine. We kind of have a trend just over here, and if we break that trend, that's going to be a good sign for bearish price action. So at the moment, it feels like it's on a slight kind of squeeze pattern, I like to call them. Price is pushing in between two area zones. It's pushing up and it's pushing down on the higher time frames. Eventually it's going to break towards the downside or the upside, but likely, because the overall market direction is bearish, we're going to see a continuation of movement towards the downside. So all is patience at the moment, nothing else. And as we can see, I'm minus $31 at the moment. I'm not too scared. I'm not worried at all. Staying confident in situations like these is definitely a skill you will master once you start trading a little bit longer. So the 1 minute time frame definitely doesn't look great. 20 and 50 moving averages over here. This candlestick actually managed to break the 50 moving average, so definitely not good. However, we do have the 5 minute area zone over here, the 200 moving average. We have a crossover of 20 and 50 moving averages, definitely suggesting bearish bias and momentum. I'm definitely not closing this trade until he actually manages to break all of these levels, at least on the 5 minute time frame. And even if we have a look at the 50 minute time frame, we have 20, 50 and the 200 moving average over here as well. If it doesn't break it on the 15 minute time frame, maybe somewhere above over here, I'm not closing off this trade. There's no reason to. This is a strong area of resistance, and at any moment in time it can actually turn back around and continue its bearish bias, because the overall market direction is bearish. So although the 1 minute time frame over here does look slightly shitty, that's totally fine. I believe this trade will do well if we keep it long enough. Of course, it's never fun to see when you're minus $121 you know, with a small account balance. Okay, and after about 15 minutes or so, we had that push towards the upside. As we saw on the 1 minute time frame, we broke past this area zone over here and is dropping down nicely. As I said, it's likely gonna retest this area zone, which is currently breaking. Hopefully this candlestick over here actually manages to break past this previous area zone, and then we're gonna reach our take profit low, which is amazing. If we have a look at the 5 minute time frame, as I previously mentioned, this area zone is really strong area resistance. It has too many moving averages, 20, 50 and the 200 moving average over here blocking, you know, the candlesticks. They pretty much cannot go anywhere else besides, you know, towards the downside. And the 15 minute time frame, look, it bounced off the 200 moving average on the 15 minute time frame. Nice candlestick wick, never breaking 20, 50 and the 200 moving averages. So using multiple time frames on the 15 minute, 5 minute and 1 minute, this is the results you can get with the best Forex trading strategy. I believe this is the best. Honestly, I've used a lot of trading strategies throughout 10 years of my trading, and this is my go-to strategy, so try it out. And as we can see, I'm finally in some profit, $65 in profit at the moment. However, I will likely just wait until we actually manage to reach our take profit level over here. I don't like this candlestick just because of that kind of wick, but since we broke past this area of resistance, it might just be a push, kind of exhaustion push scenario once again. So I do believe that we're going to reach this take profit level no problem. We also have the psychological level over here, 1.07000 level, and there we go. On the 1 minute time frame, is dropping down nicely. Not much to say really. We're nearly $100 in profit. If we have a look at the 5 minute, this is what it looks like at the moment, and we definitely reached our take profit. Look, we're going past it. I didn't have my take profit level set up. 149. I'm closing it off. There we go. So from $800 balance to $957. Maybe you are interested in following my trade setups. The link is down in the description below, and you might want to watch this video next. This is the free high probability trading strategies I recommend everyone uses. I explain them in depth, so if you like, give it a watch.